Hi, this video has the objective to explain briefly how to manage stockpiles and destinations using SimSched. There are some tricks that you can use to perform more advanced tasks. Even though we have a version, this is a beta version, you see 0.9.9.2. I still have things to improve up to version 1.0, and for sure in future versions some easier ways to do the same thing will be available. So this is just a quick informal video for our support team to work and to deliver more information to our customers. Okay, so first of all, you may have noticed that we have one stockpile automatically defined for each processing route that is defined. So once I have defined one processing route, this is there is one single stockpile that the software defines. What we could do in practice, we can discuss, but the software defines that materials that need to go to this destination, they could be stockpiled in one unit, in one place. Okay, and then we're going to discuss a little bit about this. So here is one example of the Marvin deposit, which is well known, which we use sometimes in our demo videos. And what I have done here is something for a client that requested some ways to do blending using the current version. So I will give an example in terms of blending, and this is also valid for other cases. So the case of blending, what we have done for the Marvin deposit is we worked on the input file and we created another destination. Sorry, here is in Portuguese the names, but this one means above 0.5 and this one means below 0.5. What we have done as an exercise in the input file is we create a new destination which is a kind of a fake destination, because the sum of these destinations 1 and 2 is going to be the material that's being fed to the single processing route that we have for this example, which receives 20 million tons per year. So the sum of the materials from these two processing routes needs to achieve 20 million tons. This is the new objective, once the new constraint for production, once we have divided into two processing routes. Okay, and in the input file, what we have done, I'm going quickly here. If any of you need more details, we could afterwards record more materials for explaining that, but we just create the values of the blocks. They would be the same for the two processing routes, but what we did is materials that are with copper grade above 0.5%, what we have done with those blocks is we forbid them to go to the second destination. How? We just include a very negative economic value if the block is sent to this processing route, and the other way around. For the blocks below 0.5, we put a very negative value if they go to the first destination. So doing that, you are forcing blocks to go specifically to one or another destination. And here is just one simple example with cutoff grade. You could do the same for a mine that we have a sulfide and oxide, that you have multiple rock types and you need to control how much of each material should be sent in each case, in each period, to your processing route. So you could do anything. You could try to control also multiple elements. You could define multiple. You could do this if you need to do something like breaking the cutoffs to have multiple stockpiles. You could do the same if you want to control different stockpiles. But another option is the result here. You can see in the mined blocks file, you know the period where the block is mined and the period when the block is processed. When mined is different than processed, this means the block is being stockpiled, and you know in which period the block is going to be reclaimed. So you can define after you know which blocks are going to be stockpiled. You could define afterwards how to organize. If you have place, for example, for 3 stockpiles, you could organize your stockpiles like these blocks are going to be in this stockpile, these ones in the other one, and you could go up to the point like I want to stock here the blocks that are going to be reclaimed in this period. So it's up to you. You have all the list of the blocks being stockpiled, and you decide where to put each of them. Okay, we know this is not a perfect approach for stockpiling, but this is totally reasonable from our perspective. Okay, so this I hope this gives you a brief idea on how to manage those things. Okay, thank you for your attention.